Hi, everybody. Glad you could join us tonight as we talk about fire in Marin's parklands. We're lucky to live in Marin with its awesome array of protected natural lands. We enjoy their beauty. We get to recreate out on the trails, but we also get additional benefits from these lands: clean water, clean air, bountiful wildlife and vegetation. Today, we're going to focus on how the management of these special lands fit into developing a fire-adapted landscape, and how the various agencies address fire risk to our neighborhoods and for the land itself. Marin has 143,000 acres of public protected lands. Although land management agencies have varying policies and mandates, they share similar goals for preserving biodiversity, protecting native plant communities and wildlife habitat, and minimizing the risk of wildfire. So let's hear about vegetation management goals from some of the folks who are responsible for this work.
But the mission of state parks is so much more. It's to provide for the health, inspiration, and education of the people of California by helping to preserve the state's biodiversity, protecting its most valued natural and cultural resources.
Next up, we have Carl Sanders.
So what influenced our plan? Multifaceted, integrated, overlapping world of wildland fire, invasive weeds, forest diseases, and climate change, and the interrelationship between all of those, and how we manage our lands, and specifically how we manage our watershed within this context. Three primary goals of the BIFIP that overarch all of our decision making. Goal one is to minimize the risks of wildfire in terms of our fuel breaks. Goal two, to preserve and enhance our existing biological resources. We do quite a bit of inventorying, mapping, and monitoring. Final goal is an adaptive framework that allows us to learn from what we've been doing and how we may change in the future.
OneTAM, you all know about OneTAM, was formed 5-6 years ago as a collaboration between 4 public land managers, the agencies you see on this diagram, and the nonprofit partner, the Golden Gate National Parks Conservancy. One of the main purposes of OneTAM is to partner with the public, with all of you, in the management of these lands through philanthropy, citizen participation in scientific ventures that guide management, and to increase volunteer opportunities for doing the hard work to keep these lands healthy. Another key goal is to conduct work across the landscape in a collaborative fashion. OneTAM has a forest health assessment. It's an ambitious, multi-year, $800,000 project to determine the relative health of Marin's forests and develop programs and best practices to do on-the-ground work to make Marin's forests more resilient, especially in the face of fire and climate change. Now, this project should provide guidance for all of Marin's land managers going forward. But here's my chance to dispel a popular myth. It is not true that if we prioritize reducing wildfire risk in our open spaces, our communities will then be safe from wildfire. When a catastrophic wind-driven wildfire approaches a community, fuel breaks become mere speed bumps. Our focus is better spent developing fire-adapted communities, working from your house out. Homes burn when they've not been hardened to resist wind-blown embers, when flammable material has not been removed around the first 5 feet of the home, and when defensible space has not been created on the property. That said, there is a great deal of fuel reduction work that takes place on public lands.
You know, one of the really important parts of this work is our stewardship of the natural environment, and I'm really thankful for our team at Marin County Parks of wildlife biologists, botanists, fire ecologists, and other natural resource professionals who help to inform this work. And additionally, our OneTAM partnership with state parks, the National Park Service, the Marin Municipal Water District, and the Golden Gate National Parks Conservancy really create an amazing network of natural resource professionals who are able to collect really in-depth information about the owls, bats, amphibians, and plants that make their homes in our parkland here in Marin County. And this really interesting science helps us track the health of our ecosystem overall, But more importantly, it helps us develop projects that are informed by this kind of science and that are light on the land, and at best are able to balance protecting our native ecosystems and also protecting our communities and neighborhoods from fire. And I think our goal really with managing vegetation in Marin County is finding a win-win approach that both helps to steward the natural environment, remove invasive species, and at the same time makes our communities healthier and safer in terms of fire.
So now we're going to take a closer look at some examples of vegetation management in Marin's public lands. You know, fuel reduction can, as we said, can be a goal, as in fuel breaks, or it can be a strategy for restoring health and resiliency to a forest. In either case, land managers are striving to maintain or improve habitat quality.
One thing that's unique about vegetation management is that it's not like any other kind of capital project where, you know, you can revisit something once every 20 or 50 years. It's something that's ongoing stewardship every year. And so, you know, I think part of that means that it's really important that we have ongoing relationships with our communities and our fire partners. But one of the unique things that's kind of exciting about this kind of work is that, you know, it can be, you know, labor intensive. And so there's an opportunity to put people to work and for job training. And there's a long history of partnership here in the county and really, you know, throughout the country of partnering with conservation corps and, you know, dating back to the Civilian Conservation Corps in the 1930s. But here locally with Conservation Corps North Bay, they used to be the Marin Conservation Corps, working to put young people, typically 18 to 24-year-olds, to work, doing this really important work of taking care of the environment and taking care of our communities. And at the same time, often, you know, supporting people who have been incarcerated or, you know, dropped out of school to get their high school diplomas and have other benefits. And yeah, here's a picture of Conservation Corps North Bay. Public can certainly check out our website and the OneTAM website to find out more information. One thing that's really helpful is volunteering. Of course, during this COVID time, there's less opportunities for that, but our volunteers are such an important part of helping to take care of our open spaces and remove invasive plants. And yeah, definitely if folks are interested in this, whether it's interested in the planning or participating or in the lands near your home, please do get in touch, and our contact info is on our website.